Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
It's time for today's Lucky Land horoscope with Victoria Cash.
Life's gotten mundane, so shake up the daily routine and be adventurous with a trip to Lucky Land. You know what they say. Your chance to win starts with a spin. So go to LuckyLandSlots.com to play over 100 social casino-style games for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. Get lucky today at LuckyLandSlots.com.
Available to players in the U.S., excluding Washington and Michigan. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
In the spirit of reconciliation, the Theatre Thoughts podcast acknowledges the traditional custodians of country throughout Australia and their connections to land, sea and community. We pay our respects to their elders past and present and extend that respect to all traditional custodians of the land on which our episodes are recorded.
I just remember watching it for the first time. I don't know how it was in the house, but I just remember being like, what the fuck's happening?
Yeah.
Definitely a lot of that. But also like, I am so turned on by Tim Curry.
Yeah.
It was, I was putting that in the wank.
Yeah. You're listening to the Theatre Thoughts podcast. If you're a new listener, welcome to the podcast. If you're one of our returning listeners, welcome back to a brand new episode. You can watch a snippet of this week's episode via our YouTube channel or subscribe to our Patreon for $5 a month to get access to the full video, a patron shout out and earlier access to our episodes. Or if you're stretched on a budget, become a supporter for as little as $3 a month. If you're a fan of the podcast, please leave us a review wherever you're listening from. Share us on your socials, tell your friends at the theatre, stop to tell a stranger on the street, or just be that annoying friend who shares all the best recommendations. You can find all of our content via our Instagram channel at ttpod_official or by following the link in this episode's description. So switch on those thoughts and be sure to subscribe to catch all our new content in 2023. Welcome everyone to a new episode of the Theatre Thoughts podcast. I've left the studio and I've wandered down to the Theatre Royal to talk with two of the cast of Rocky Horror Picture Show, and I'm very excited. So first off, we have one performer who is playing Eddie, and Dr. Scott. He's an actor-writer originally from Scotland who has written and produced several one-man cabaret shows, including a show called Toxic Masculinity, and worked as a dramaturg for artists in Adelaide and Melbourne. He works with cabaret artist Millicent Sari, who is the co-host of the feminist film analysis podcast Feminine Ruins Everything. So this isn't his first time on the podcast. Please welcome Ellis Dolan.
Hello, hi, I'm Ellis, that is me.
Excellent. And then our second lovely, amazing guest has been performing since a young age, started touring in Germany, England, Austria and Japan, starting her first band at 15, has made it to the top 14 in 2008's Australian Idol, worked with coach Delta Goodrum in 2020's The Voice, making it to the grand finale, and most recently has performed the role of Oberon in Shakespeare's The Lovers, which I loved. Please welcome Stella Perry.
Thank you. Yes, Oberon lives on.
Yes, and that's my awkward little intro thingy. So good.
That was beautiful.
That was great.
Thank you. Yeah, no, that's fine. How are you both? We've been chatting already before off podcast, but
We haven't asked each other how each other is, so I think that's really important.
No, that's good.
Yeah.
I'm good. I've had a very quiet day today, just kind of, collecting my thought.
AKA lazy.
the one thought.
The one thought for the day. Everybody gets one. And how's your day been, Stels?
Yes, good. I did my very first cover call tech thing.
Okay.
Which was adorable and mind-blowing.
Yeah.
Because our covers are sensational and doing everyone else.
Yeah.
Like they can do everything.
Really?
Absolutely
well.
insane.
Really well. I was just like trying to remain in Magenta. I was like, just loving it.
I remember when I spoke to some of the swings of Six, and I was just in awe the entire time. I was like, how do you do all of that?
How do you remember?
It's insane.
The lines
Yeah.
And the
Spacing,
yes.
Yes.
Spikes as
the
well.
spike marks,
I
the
would
choreography.
I would never know that.
There's so much, and I mean, especially in a show where Rocky Horror, where every character is quite different and distinct, where it's not like you're playing variations of or similar kind of people. You are the all the extremes. Like Janet to Columbia is just
every personality is concentrated.
Yeah.
Yeah, I loved you guys in the show as well. We came opening night and we absolutely loved it. I mean, I personally just love Rocky Horror already.
Same.
Yeah.
Huge fan.
And I remember the very first time. I want to ask your first times in a sec. Mine was my mum first introduced it to me because she loves it. And she always talks about used to going to the cinema or dressed in a fishnet stocking. And, you know, as like an 11-year-old boy, you go, Mum, I don't really want to picture that. But she made me watch the film and I was just like, what the fuck is going on right now?
It's very that.
It is.
It's very that.
But then afterwards you go, I want to watch that again. Yeah.
Your mum sounds amazing.
Yeah.
She's awesome.
I want to know her.
Yeah. But what about you? What were your first times?
Well, my story is very similar. My parents showed it to me when I was like 10 because they raised me correctly. Yeah. And like as soon as I watched it, I was like, this is so cool. It's great. I want to do that. And specifically, I was like, I want to be the guy that bursts out of the freezer, sings a song, and then gets brutally murdered. Spoilers, brutally murdered. I was just like, that's all I want to do. And so it is a literal childhood dream come true to be a part of this amazing cast.
Do you think about Meatloaf when you're up there?
Oh, it's hard not to.
Yeah.
Like he left such an incredible impression in that role, and because this is the 50th anniversary, there's a part of me that's like, I want to find my take on the character, but I also want to honor the Eddies that came, the Eddies of the past looked down on us, and all that kind of thing.
Isn't there? That respecting where everyone else has gone with it. Especially Meatloaf.
Yeah.
I feel the same with Tim Curry. Like,
you
want to draw from him, but you want to freshen it up and do your own thing because there's no point just copying what everyone else has done.
Exactly.
Which we could all do. Like, if you're an actual fan of Rocky, you can say everything like they say it in the movie.
Yeah.
Like, because it's in your head.
Exactly.
Which is hard, actually, I think, when you're so familiar with the work.
I have thought that before. Like, how do you create that separation? It is hard to just go, all right, I'm going to relax and I'm going to say it like the movie version, or do you make it your own thing?
Yeah, I've struggled with that with Magenta, to be honest.
I've definitely deliberately kind of picked and choose. There are some lines, particularly as Dr. Scott, that I'm like, no, I'm saying this the way it's in the movie because
God, you did. You've changed the way you've been saying Janet.
Have I?
The last two shows.
Oh no, I have not.
Yeah, slightly different.
Oh, okay. I'll need to tweak on that.
No, I love it.
But it's that thing of it. You find moments where it's like let's pay respect to the thing that everybody in the audience is such a huge fan already. Let's pay respect to the thing that they know, but also let's find the jokes or the laughs or the deliveries that nobody else kind of has.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm just having an epiphany moment.
Oh, I love it.
And you would have seen it on my face.
I did see. I was like,
I went to a place. It's very ADD of me. It's like tuning out, thinking about my own thing. I think that this chick that I went to high school with, Frances, introduced it to me. I just remember it being in my house and watching it the first time. And I know Mum wouldn't have, not because she's like anti anything, she just wouldn't have been cool enough to pick it out.
Right.
Plus, we always picked out our own videos. Yes, videos.
Yes.
83 baby.
Yes. No, I remember.
When I watched it for the first time, I just remember watching it for the first time. I don't know how it was in the house, but I just remember being like, what the fuck's happening?
Yeah.
Definitely a lot of that. But also, like, I am so turned on by Tim Curry.
Yeah.
It was, I was putting that in the wank bank.
Yeah.
And I would have been like 11 or 12.
Yes.
When that bank started to fill up.
I
with
think
Tim Curry.
Just all Tim Curry.
The eyebrow moment, you know that.
Yeah, the little eyebrow raise he always does.
Well, babies, don't you panic. I love it.
I believe that nobody is allowed to answer Tim Curry in Rocky Horror as the question to what was your sexual awakening, because that was everybody's sexual awakening. That was a universal answer.
You know what was before that for me?
Oh yeah.
Foot Rot Flats. The cartoon.
Oh, okay.
There's a cartoon. Google it.
Yeah.
And there was a bean that jumps down the woman's breast, and I remember.
Right.
Ooh.
Interesting.
Amazingly big breasts. And after her, it was Jessica Rabbit, and then it was
Jessica
Tim
Rabbit
Curry.
was probably
So
one
to
of
be
my
fair,
favorites.
it was two
Jessica
girls.
Rabbit is another gimme. Come on.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, which order is it for you? It depends when you're exposed to what.
Yeah.
And for me, Tim Curry was my third hottest moment of my life.
That's it, love.
But my first male.
There you go. Excellent. And then obviously we have Jason Donovan playing Frank N Furter
Of
now.
course.
Chef's kiss.
Yeah, and he brings this I don't know how to describe it, like a gruffness almost to Frank N Furter that I'd never seen before. Yeah.
He's really edgy. He's really rock and roll. Like
he is rock and roll, isn't he?
Unexpectedly so.
Yeah. Because obviously,
I
like
saw
a lot of
pop.
people would think of him with, Joseph as well. So
Yes.
like then you're such a contrast, and he does bring this really amazing quality to Frank N Furter.
He does. And the fatherliness of him, like
Yes.
in real life. But he, when, spoiler alert, whatever, but when Columbia's really upset about him maybe going home, and he's just the way he's like, I'm going to go home, baby. It's very dad to daughter. And I'm like, oh, that's so cute. But I'm there trying to be like, you're about to die.
I do like that in that moment I just get to watch Jason do his thing and be in awe of him.
And I love that I'm wearing glasses and I get to watch you legs spread in fishnets. I'm like, oh, hello.
What a treat.
Then I'm like, focus. But I've got the sunglasses on. No one knows.
No one will know.
No one's going to know.
But now I know.
Be watching it the entire time. So I guess the question is, why do you think Rocky Horror has this appeal that after 50 years, people are still rocking up, they're still thank
See what
you.
you did there.
They're still dressing up, as Frank N Furter, all their outfits. What do you think is its appeal?
I think it's such a silly bombast of a show that's high energy and it's a lot of fun, and I think you could just look at it and be like, people come because they like to dance the time warp and the music's good and blah blah blah. But I think the reason it's lasted 50 years, which is astonishing for any piece of musical theater, is I think the message really resonates with people. Like at the end of the day, it's all about don't dream it, be it.
Yeah.
And I think people really take that, especially people in marginalized communities or the queer communities who see a part of themselves reflected in this movie that at the time that might have been the first example of that. Or
We're already talking about like sexual awakenings with it, so
exactly. I think so many people have that experience with it and that response to it, and the reason it resonates is because it's true and it's honest, and it makes people feel things in a way that they can come and they can dance the time warp and they can have a good time, but at the end of the day they're just like, this makes me feel better about who I am as a human, and that's invaluable.
Yeah. I love that.
I usually wouldn't add to something that was so perfectly put. I don't have anything to add on to what your points were, but I was just thinking I had another epiphany moment.
Love it.
Please share your.
I need to add like dings for like the epiphany.
No, go for it.
What I was just thinking was, and tell me if you disagree, but back in the day when it came out, 50 years ago, I think people were freaking out more about a man in fishnets and heels and cross-dressing, like whatever, even though cross-dressing's been happening for thousands of years.
Yeah.
In pop culture and in every other way, just look at history. But I think that was the thing that people were fixating on, of like, oh, this is kind of like shocking in all the right ways and it's challenging me, but I feel cool for watching it.
Yeah.
And I like what it's making me feel and do, and it's, expanding my mind. But now, because of the whole PC community and the everyone needing equal everything, and rightly so, by the way, but also we're really coming down on people and like, what's that thing that you need to get consent?
Commission?
Yeah. And I
that's
think that some of those, the bedroomy scenes, like some of that almost non-consensual, emotional, maybe manipulation, coercion is now the thing that's triggering people and being like, oh, that's still that feeling of like, I don't love that. Or that's not right.
Yeah.
Whereas I think back in the day it was the other thing that wasn't right. And now everyone's like cool with that. But
interesting.
Now we're not, because back in the day there wasn't really, you didn't bat an eyelid to that kind of thing.
No, like you see it in so many films where you go, this probably isn't right.
This would not be shown today. This
Exactly.
would not be written into a movie these days, unless it was like literally to make the point of that not being
Exactly.
right.
Yeah.
Which I just think that's the beauty of Rocky Horror. It just always has like different levels and flavours and things to focus on societally, which is interesting, which will always change in our society as we grow and evolve.
True, yeah.
Who knows what we're going to think of it in the next 50 years, what's like an important issue 50 years from now and what isn't right now.
But I think it's also like in the way that it's written, it feels
timeless.
Yeah,
timeless.
It does like I think that there are parts that haven't aged well because of the way society is. Like there are some outdated terminology or whatever.
Like it's a gas.
The
Bring that back.
That's actually a good one. I don't mind it.
Yeah.
But like I think the bedroom scene is another thing that's like, in today's sensibilities, you're like, oh, that's not really good. But in terms, again, I think it comes down to
nice?
Isn't it nice, darling?
and audiences go crazy for that scene.
They
That
do.
is hilarious.
It's
so
so-
well done by them.
The way they
yeah,
do. And also, can I say, in this production, it is so much saucier than like any other time I've seen it. I
Really?
think. Yeah. I was like, they're going for it.
Yeah, it's hot.
Yeah.
But I think it's also more restrained than other versions that I've seen, and I think that's what makes it saucier.
Yeah, yeah.
The fact, like I've seen versions with no disrespect to them, where they've added in very, very overt gags.
Oh,
I
right.
think in one production, Brad pulled out a thing of Vaseline.
Oh, okay.
Which
Yeah.
and again, I think it worked in the moment, but I think
Yeah.
part of what makes this version so
That's like,
intense.
you were like 1998.
It's set in the 50s, so they didn't know any better.
Honestly.
But like I think the fact that this version of the scene is a bit more restrained and a bit more tasteful, actually makes it way saucier and everything.
100%.
Any give that Brad and Janet give makes it all the more hot under the collar
It
because
does,
you haven't taken it as raunchy as you possibly could.
Yeah.
That's so true.
Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Hello, it is Ryan, and I was on a flight the other day playing one of my favorite social spin slot games on ChumbaCasino.com. I looked over at the person sitting next to me, and you know what they were doing? They were also playing Chumba Casino. Coincidence? I think not. Everybody's loving having fun with it. Chumba Casino is home to hundreds of casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere, even at 30,000 feet. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com to claim your free welcome bonus. That's ChumbaCasino.com and live the Chumba life.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18 plus.
Running a small business? Are you promoting a new show or running a theatre space? Maybe you're looking for an area to reach potential new clients. Why not advertise with us on the Theatre Thoughts podcast? We have a range of packages and prices for you to put your ad right here on the podcast. For more information, contact us at theatrethoughtsteam@outlook.com or by heading to our website, theatrethoughtsaus.online. And I think as well, what I've always found interesting, and every time it's come to Australia, I found it interesting, is the difference between our reactions to the show throughout and like overseas. Because I was saying before,
Huge
like the
difference.
recording, in the West End, it's an institution, and everyone knows the line to say at the right time, at the right pace, and they get up and they do the time warp. Whereas Australian audiences are very contained. It's like we need permission. It's like someone needs to go, yes, you may
We're
get
very
up.
respectful as an audience.
Yeah.
Yeah, we.
Dimming the lights. Ooh. Do we have to move
that-
or something?
Anyway, thanks for coming.
Thank you. That's all we got time for here.
Okay, stop talking now. Is it like a sort of... Oh, it's sensor light.
It's a sensor light.
I love that.
This will make great footage.
It was a bit creepy though.
It's a bit,
It was
it's a bit,
a little bit, especially like, ooh,
it's a bit
okay.
Rocky Horror After Dark.
I always like
now all the
imagine,
really
like-
saucy questions come.
I was imagining Jason was just going to walk in at some stage.
With
and
the
be like,
smoke.
How'd you do that?
Where were we though?
we were talking about...
We're in the Theatre Royal
yes.
in Sydney.
Thank you. What's my name?
Stella.
Thank you.
The audience's reaction.
That's
to the show.
right.
Yes.
Australians are way too, I think personally, way too respectful. It's
Yes.
way more fun.
Yes.
The Brits do it.
Yeah.
I love that. And I know Miff loves a holler.
Yeah.
But only, like, it's better if it's the right one. Like,
Yeah.
Don't just, like, say shit for shit's sake.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I wish that Australians knew about it more and could embrace that.
Exactly, yeah.
I guess you were going to ask this question. Why do you think that they do it?
Yeah.
Because I don't know. Why do you think? I have no idea why.
Like
that is
it might be a cultural thing. Like everything. Like I'm being from Scotland. Like my mum would always tell me about seeing gigs in Glasgow and the crowds being the most raucous and somehow the most supportive audiences that bands would ever have. And so maybe it's like a UK thing.
Yeah.
That audiences have been given permission
I
universally
think it
to
comes
respond.
back to the film. If like just going off what my mum's told me, like they used to like. Have you ever seen The Room?
Yes.
Yeah, The Room's like the worst film ever made, but it's the best worst film ever made.
Is it a horror and it's based in one room?
No.
No.
This is The Room. It's very, very different. How dare you get that wrong?
You're cut from the podcast.
It's it's this film. It's a cult film, and everyone goes and watches it. And they do things. They bring spoons or something because it's something to do with the film.
It's incredible, and it like Rocky Horror, there is this script that you respond to certain things. My favorite, because I've been to see it a couple of times in the cinema, and it's phenomenal. We should do it. We should do it as a cast.
Yeah. Yes.
And one of my favorite things is they'll cut every now and again. They'll just cut to a stock footage of the San Francisco Bridge, the Golden Gate Bridge.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah,
and it just pans across, and as it's doing it, you have to chant as if it's like a race. And it's like, come on, go, you can do it. And if it gets to the end of the bridge, you have to give a big cheer.
Yeah.
So it's like things like that, which is exactly like Rocky Horror.
So playful.
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why I wanted to be more playful. Like when I came open, I was like, all right, time warp, and nobody got up, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna stay right here.
Yeah. No. Fuck everyone.
But
Get
then we
up
did it
next
at the
time.
end,
Yeah.
and I was like, there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah. But speaking of filming, you guys, if I'm not mistaken, are being filmed live across the country for the anniversary.
On the 30th of March.
30th of March.
7:30.
Amazing.
Shown in cinemas around Australia, but not so much regional. We've just been talking about.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be more metropolitan, than we've been told, which is a shame. Like we love the idea of getting things out to people who
don't
aren't
have
able to come
access.
see it. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. It needs to be pushed
We're
out.
obviously not in control of it, but we're super grateful just for the opportunity, not to sound
No.
like a good little two shoes, but I feel like it's a pretty phenomenal.
It's pretty exciting.
Yeah,
I-
that doesn't happen a lot.
I didn't
No.
think so. Because, I'm not from the theatre world, and I was asking theatre people, I was like, is this a normal thing? And
Yeah.
I was like, not really.
Yeah.
I'm like, sick.
Especially not in Australia. Like
No.
I haven't heard of it happening here.
When I know Grant
that often.
Dodwell's starting like Australian Theatre Live, I think he's trying to bring that like the national theatre feel to Australia.
That is a great idea.
Yeah, so maybe this is, I don't know, maybe that could be the start of it.
Just
would be
the
bad.
toe in the water.
I do wonder how it's going to read on the big screen.
Yeah.
Because I've
Yeah.
watched the Rocky Horror, the UK version on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
And like seen how that, and like it does actually sort of keep the feel of being in a theatre. Like
Yeah.
I really liked it. But I mean, I'm not being biased, but our cast,
Pretty damn good.
it's incredible. Yeah. I am stoked for this to be like accessible forever, essentially.
Yeah.
Will it be? Will it be YouTubeable?
I hope so.
I hope so. You'd hope so, wouldn't you? That'd be great.
I'm just thrilled to come to work every day and work with such an incredible group of people. Yourself included,
am. No,
obviously.
I am.
No, I am.
I am.
I knew it. It's
Yeah.
Well, you're obviously, you say you're not, like, this is your, second musical theatre gig?
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
About saying that. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's great. And, like, when you were first announced as Oberon, I just remember seeing it online. Everyone just blew up. They're like, what? Amazing. They were over there. And you were amazing in
They've
that
got
role
a good
as well.
reception. I'm really nervous about entering into the theatre world because I've had theatre friends for a long time and I'm very well aware of how competitive it is and how hard people work to get somewhere and to get jobs. And I would never, ever want to come and step on anyone's toes that's been, like, trying for these things. But the thing that I've learnt really quickly in, like, my very, very, very small amount of time in being in this industry is you've either got the essence of the character or not, and it's more often than not not anything to do with your level of talent or how hard you've worked and how easy you are. I mean, being easy to work with is great, but from every casting that I've seen, I'm like, oh, it makes so much sense why you got cast.
Right,
like,
yeah.
They just sort of a bit are that character, and I was very Oberon, and I feel like I am very
much,
Magenta.
especially in the
It's just
the
luck.
lovers.
I really feel like it's luck, and like I can sort of sing and kind of dance, and acting's like all right, but like I get it over the line because I can like just pull Magenta out of my ass basically, like 'cause she lives there.
Yeah.
Deep in the heart.
Oh, incredible. Well, can I ask you our 1 minute theatre thoughts questions?
Yeah, hit
Of
us.
course.
Yeah? Okay, cool.
Wait, 1 minute is in. We've got to answer like straight away. Do we have buzzers?
Do we get a minute
You
each?
can. Well, let's figure out how we're going to do
I don't
this.
think so.
We should just take it in turns.
All right. What has been your favourite production you've seen?
Is that a good buzzer? You like that? I've got three that come to mind. Is that okay?
That's fine.
Hamilton. I like it. It's incredible. The Australian cast in particular are amazing. In the Heights at the Hayes, in I think it was 2018, and Fun Home that was in Melbourne made me weep so much. So I had to. So those are my three.
Okay.
I've got two.
You didn't buzz. You didn't buzz in.
That's better.
If I lose, who am I buzzing against?
Who am I going to beat?
Mine is Matilda, and
I love it.
And Tim Minchin. I'm sorry,
Yes.
but he's a motherfucking god.
Yeah.
A genius. And I'm obsessed with Sound of Music, so obviously went to see that.
Beautiful.
Loved every second of it. It was me living my dream.
Love it.
Like seeing it in real life.
Incredible.
Yeah.
I was both in Melbourne because, I'm not cool enough to be in the States or in London, so sorry about it.
Yeah. Well.
Sorry, guys.
What's your go-to karaoke song?
You Give Love a Bad Name by Bon Jovi.
Oh, nice.
I like that.
Or Tribute by Tenacious D.
Oh, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You look like you
It's
could rock
such a
out
good
tribute.
one.
Yeah.
I do love that.
Incidentally, I do have a brother, and his name is Kyle.
Love
out.
it.
Yeah.
Can we do Tenacious D at some point?
Yes, please. Can we?
I would love
That would be
to.
great.
Yeah, let's do that. Done.
love to.
Done. Easy.
I've got a few, but it's hard to remember them all. But I know that my most recent one was, that hey yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What's going on? Linda Perry.
Yes.
Born on Blondes.
Great.
That's a fun one. 25 years and my life is still. Speaking of that tone. Do you believe in love? All I want to do is make love to you.
Yes.
So they're all, I guess, throaty, foghorny female vocalists with balls.
Yes.
Nice.
Love it.
I believe karaoke should be all up tempo plus Angels by Robbie Williams, and that's it.
Yeah. What a description.
Yeah.
I'd have to concur.
Yeah.
I'd have to concur.
It pays for a good night.
And also, it's just too much having a wank if you just sitting there sadly,
Yeah.
It's like when guitar solos go for too long. It's we get it.
We get it. You're good at
You're
guitar.
good.
Back
Move
to your
on.
bedroom. What about us? You've lost us. We're getting a beer.
Yeah, but.
Yeah.
All right. Well, who inspired you as a young performer? And then I'll ask you one more.
As a young performer, Mariah Carey, for sure, when I was in grade 7. Alice Cooper, when I was in grade 6. And then it moved on to Maynard Tool.
Okay.
Nice.
Love it.
Michael Jackson.
Yes. Okay.
Meatloaf was a big influence, of course. Bono. I'm a huge U2 fan, and I love Bono, and I will not hear a bad word against it. And Mandy Patinkin.
Oh, lovely. Mandy Patinkin.
Mandy Patinkin.
Theatre person.
He's huge in theatre. He originated Sunday in the Park with George.
Did you ever watch Homeland? The TV show Homeland?
Yes.
He was the CIA guy with the big beard in that. That looked after Claire Danes' character.
Yes.
Yeah. That's Mandy
I
Patinkin.
love him.
Yeah.
He's an incredible musical theatre performer. Has
I didn't know that was his name.
the most beautiful voice.
Yeah.
I don't know about that, sweetie.
Oh, stop it.
Last one. Which production would you most want to see come to Australia?
Can you give me 5 that aren't in Australia?
Yes. I can tell you mine.
Go, Justin. Give me.
Hades Town is my number one.
Don't know what it is.
I
You
would.
never seen? Oh,
I would have
God,
said
I
Hades
listened to
Town.
it, Yeah.
Oh, is that... Wait, no.
The one with the Greek mythology story.
It's
I would be into that. Halfway.
Anais Mitchell.
I don't know.
Anais Mitchell
What's
is the
one about
composer.
the Jewish situation that everyone talks about that's really sad?
Fiddler on the
Parade?
Roof?
Yes.
No?
But cute.
Yeah.
Is it
Yes,
Parade?
cute. Yes.
Parade.
Yeah,
Yep.
Parade.
I feel like I need to see that in my lifetime.
Okay.
But give me your other 4.
Beetlejuice.
That's what I
Yes,
want. That's what I
yes.
want my answer to be. Beetlejuice.
I want to be Beetlejuice so bad.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
Fine. I'll be Winona Ryder. Speaking of, is Edward Scissorhands ever here?
Is that a musical?
It should be.
That'd be an amazing musical.
I'd say that
The
musical.
music is beautiful.
It is.
Yeah, it'd be
I'd
gorgeous.
love
Yeah.
that. And can you imagine Edward?
Oh, God, that'd
Henry
be good.
Rollo. He needs to play him. You saw it here first.
You saw it here first. Henry Rollo as Edward Scissorhands.
My other one, Back to the Future, because I'm a big
I love
Back to the Future. Yeah.
I didn't know that was a musical.
Yeah.
I forgot there was a
Apparently
show,
it is,
yeah.
and apparently it's really good.
What do you mean this apparently business?
Well, only from what I've heard. I've heard it's very, very good.
I would sign up for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm down for that.
What's your other one?
Top of my head. I had it in my head, now it's gone. Probably Groundhog Day. I saw it on Broadway ages ago and hasn't come here yet.
That's another Tim Minchin one.
Tim Minchin did it. Oh. It's incredible.
As in the ground, like Bill Murray.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Tim Minchin did the music. It's real good.
I mean, unfortunately, all those choices are based on movies, and Hadestown's the only original.
That's why I know them.
Yeah, that's probably why.
That's what I was raised by.
But listen to Hadestown. It is phenomenal.
Yeah, okay, I will.
I would love
tear your soul apart.
I would love for a Strange Loop to come.
Yes, apparently.
That would be
that was that won the Tony, didn't
it?
it?
Yeah, it won the Tony, and it would be awesome.
Strange Loop?
So Strange Loop is a new musical. It's semi-autobiographical, written by this guy who works as an usher at the theater, and he's African American and queer, and it's essentially just his life story while he's trying to make it as a writer.
Yeah,
and it was a really powerful score. And
sad.
It sounds sad.
Yeah,
I think it really hit a lot of people over there.
Yeah. Right. Which I would love for it. I'd love for more, again, like more original musicals that aren't just based on movies.
Yeah.
To come and flourish in Australia, because
no,
get out, Beetlejuice.
I'm such a pop trash hole.
No, I love it as well.
There's nothing actually artistic about it.
Whereas I'm sitting here with my Sunday in the Park with George tattoo and
just make dogs. Just make the dog
do.
tap
That's
dance.
really cute.
that is, yeah.
Oh, that's so fucking cute. What are your other? How many? Is that you said two? What are your?
I don't know what else I've said. I'd love for the revival of Company where Bobby is a woman. Should come.
Yes.
Because
I should have seen it when I was in the UK and I didn't. And I'm kicking myself because it looks amazing.
I've heard nothing
This is why
but
we're
good
beckoning
things.
it to come to
I know.
us.
Come
Please
to
come.
us.
And bring Patty LaPone with
Yes, yeah. God love Patty. Well, that was the longest 1 minute theatre.
That was a long
ever,
minute.
and I love it.
You can't just have 1 minute with us. We have to take your entire night and tell you every single thing.
No,
you can't.
No.
Yeah,
You
you
can't
can't.
just have. You can't.
What'd you
have
call
1
me?
minute. How dare you? Well, I'm very conscious you guys have to perform tonight, so I don't want to keep you here too much longer. But can I just say thank you so much for jumping on? It's been an absolute pleasure. It's been probably the funnest and most raunchy interview I've had in a very long time.
If you thought that was fun and raunchy, come see Rocky Horror Show playing in whatever theatre we're in.
Royal
Till April 2nd.
Cinemas near you, March 30, 7:30 p.m.
7:30 p.m.
See you there.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much.
It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you.
You're adorable. I want to squeeze your cheeks. Also, hi to your mum. I love her.
Thank you to Ellis Dolan and Stella Perry for joining us on the podcast. A massive thank you to Vicky and the team at Lucky Star Media for helping to organise this episode. This episode was produced by Echidna Audio. Follow them on Instagram at Echidna Audio for all their audio services. Once again, if you enjoyed our podcast, leave us a review wherever you get your podcasts and head to the link in this episode's description for our Instagram account, TikTok, YouTube and Patreon. My name's Justin Clark and I'll see you next time here on the Theatre Thoughts Podcast.
Have you ever wondered how your favorite performer actually feels? Well, here's your chance. Welcome to The Quiet Part Out Loud with me, Bobby Steggert, Broadway actor and now a therapist to a whole host of Broadway creatives. Part interview, part therapy, this is not your typical podcast. We'll go right to the heart of things with some of your favorite artists, what they still struggle with, what lessons they've learned, what they haven't figured out yet. There's enormous power in saying the quiet part out loud. Are you listening?
Hello, it is Ryan, and I was on a flight the other day playing one of my favorite social spin slot games on ChumbaCasino.com. I looked over at the person sitting next to me, and you know what they were doing? They were also playing Chumba Casino. Coincidence? I think not. Everybody's loving having fun with it. Chumba Casino is home to hundreds of casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere, even at 30,000 feet. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com to claim your free welcome bonus. That's ChumbaCasino.com and live the Chumba life.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.